Hi, welcome to the channel, and today we're going to take a walking tour of the container garden in the front yard, and then I think we're also going to go in the backyard here in a minute too. Kelly won't be joining us in because it's a pretty long walk for her. And so the first thing we're going to look at is raspberries, and you know, I planted up in this big container. We're going to see how they do. So far they're looking okay. They're underneath the, you know, they get morning sun, they get an afternoon shade from the live oak tree above us. It's doing okay. I did order a quasi raspberry that we've done once before called Mysore, and it's called that for a reason because it does make you sore when you pull it. But I'm going to clip it back this time and do a lot better job of pruning it back and seeing how it works. It also needs to be afternoon shade, but just it's one of those that everybody talks about, and they say, hey, you can grow raspberries in the south using that one. We're going to give it another try. I tried it back several years ago. This one here is called Crimson Night. I've never tried it before, but it's looking okay. Like I said, I do need to trellis it up, and you know, it hadn't really started spreading out like I wanted to. I wish it would start, you know, putting out some more canes, but so far it should do it next year. So this is the first year we've done it, and it's looking all right. So this time we're going to go up over here, I guess, and we'll move over. This here is the green leaf tea.
Yeah, that's green tea.
And did you find out much about it? The leaves are looking good.
Yeah, it's looking good. They say you have to wait between 18 and 24 months before you can harvest the leaves.
So it usually means about 6 months for us.
Yeah, I'll probably do it this winter when I want some hot tea.
Then this here is the ginger growing here.
That's always
Ginger's
fun.
pretty easy. You just put the rhizomes down. You get them where they start coming out, put them in there, and they grow all summer. And then once it gets cold, you'll take them down. I would show you a hummingbird, but I don't think you would ever see it. This here is the pineapple that I've started from a top, and it did really well. It's growing good. This one I did later, and as you can see, this part died, but it sent off a side shoot, and I'm letting it grow. This one I started in the middle of summer. The top looked good when I planted it. Now the middle looks like it's dead, but I'm hoping it's going to do the same thing this one did, and it'll start putting out some pups on the side, and we'll see how it goes. This one here, it went ahead and came from the top and didn't do that. It's from the direct top. This is one that's one of the slips from the one that I bought through the mail, and it's a one of the coreless pineapples. This here's one I bought at the nursery, and it's a one of the side shoots from it, and it's, you know, it's doing good and looking nice. This is the top of the one I bought at the nursery that's doing well, and it started from this one over here. And it got another side shoot on here. I'll let it grow a little bit more, and we'll see how it does. It did have a little small pineapple about that big. We cut it off. I'm going to, hopefully they'll get bigger, because that's not
This one's growing
good.
since last video.
And this one here is growing. It's the one that's got the spines on it. I don't like the spines. They hurt.
So
But it
pretty,
did put
though.
out the bloom. I don't know if this is just an ornamental and never will get very big, or if we're going to get big, because even the stalk, it's just not got that big beefy stalk on it. But they may not do that. I guess I need to support it so it won't fall over. But because it's already got, if you look real close, it's already got little pups on the side.
Oh my goodness, it
Growing from it.
does.
So it's just a weird one. Like I say, it just may be ornamental. I don't know.
I want to eat it.
I know. I'm not much on ornamental stuff. Just going over here on one of the last two remaining.
It's looking sad.
It is. We've had plenty of rain.
We have had a lot of rain.
And I think it's some type of wilt. I don't know. None of these have done good this year. I probably won't be growing any tomatoes in the stuff. I don't know if it's even worth growing them in the pots up here, because we just seem to get some type of disease up here.
Like crazy.
And this is in a different.
I was
the
hoping
raised
for
bed.
at least a small harvest so I could do a little bit of canning. I
We
said
got-
what I could.
We got one.
One tomato, yes.
Yes, we got one
We
tomato.
got one tomato.
And one person said if
I
you
should've
make one
canned it.
tomato, you'll be successful. So
I wanted to make enchilada sauce.
we'll do better next year.
Yeah.
What cowboys always say, we'll do better next year. We're all in.
in.
But anyway, this here is a Chickasaw plum that's in a container. I put these in containers. I was going to send it to somebody, and then they never really got back with me, so I still got them. But anyway, I got it in a pot. I might plant it out somewhere else. But Chickasaws sprout real easy, so and they're good for jams and jelly. I do have the one in the garden that's some of the improved ones called Guthrie and Odom, and they get pretty good size for for wild plum, and they do taste good. So do they taste great? No. Do they taste better than anything you get in the store? Yeah. So now this is something I just noticed is this here. The loquat is already starting to put on blooms. Now what a loquat would do, it'll put on blooms, they'll bloom out, you put the fruit on. You got to carry that fruit through the wintertime.
It's a lizard.
Lizard. They're nolly. And
Squirrel.
but but it's this one I can put in the garage if I need to. Once it sets to fruit, it can take in the mid to upper 20s without freezing the fruit. The blooms are very sensitive to cold, so if it gets even down into the upper 20s, I'm gonna have to pull it back in until the fruit sets. It's different than peaches. Are opposite. Peaches, the further along you go, the more sensitive they are to freeze. If they're in the bloom stage, they have more freeze, and as the fruit gets bigger, they can handle less freeze. These are opposite, so that's nice to know. And they're putting out some, got some here and over there, so it's gonna bloom all over. Hopefully we get a good stand. I really did like this one. I think this is the Yahula, if I remember right. So it is a milder, doesn't have the tartness to it that some of the, but I'll be honest with you, the loquats that I got, I really couldn't tell much difference, except for the gold
Nugget.
gold nugget. It's thanks. The gold nugget was okay, but it was a milder flavor than the others were. This one does have more of the peach flavor to it. This is the cherry of the Rio Grande that I've said multiple times I was going to stand back. You liked it some. Of all the ones that taste like cherry, this one was the best tasting. And I'll go over here and show you. Now, I would like to be able to pull this thing up and show you the buds on it. It's finally going to start blooming out, but I can't because it's not doing it yet. And same thing with this one. I keep hoping that those little buds are going to start growing, but it hadn't yet. This is a loquat seedling, and this is in diatomaceous earth, the coarse stuff, and it's doing fine. I am starting to fertilize some, and this is a little bitty loquat, so it's growing also.
So cute.
I've got a bunch of loquats, so we'll swing over here. This time our loquat nursery, and I've left them here. And this is the other, some more of the coreless pineapple, and then all these are loquats. So, and some of these leaves, when you see leaves crinkle like that, what that is, it's got aphids on the back side of it. See all those aphids on there? And you can kind of wipe them off. They might already be dead, I don't know. Probably, let's see. Nah, they're still alive.
Yuck.
So, loquat guts, aphid guts. But anyway, you can kind of wipe them off and or spray them off using insecticidal soap. Any of that stuff will kill them. I just haven't done it yet. This is the 5 gallon. I got lemongrass. It's doing well. It does get a little bit of water on the bottom, but I have to be careful because even though you got water in the tray, a lot of times you can't get the hose are on the side, so it doesn't necessarily get water in the tray. Over here, these are rosemary that my wife keeps saying she's gonna.
I got ready to take a video of me cutting it and dehydrating, and it rained constantly. That's my defense. I'm standing on it.
And there's 3 different kinds. And this one here is actually blooming out, so I don't know if that's good or bad.
I don't either.
And one way to tell, does it need watering? Nope, because it's heavy. This here is just a sweet potato vines that I used to feed my lizard with, the Euromastus, and he likes them. And I use that, the Rose of Sharon, which is like a hibiscus. I feed them that. And I'm actually got some mustard that's coming up growing. So this is one of the small fig trees that I got growing, and I put some fertilizer on it and it's starting to put out. And they love to, see how that root goes out? They really like to escape the pots. And another Chickasaw plum. Over here, I actually have the broccoli growing. Some of it I got really good, the Green Magic really got good germination there. The Asper Brock, I got 1 out of 9. So that's not very good. And then this here only got 1 out of 9. So I don't know. And it's funny, this row right here, they look really good. Any other row doesn't look as good. So I don't understand. I just noticed that. Have no idea why. This here is the micro dwarfs on the tomatoes. And they're looking good. And I don't see anything. I've left them outside because we've been a lot of rain. And it's been lots of rain, lots of cloudy days. So I've left them outside so they could acclimatize. And that way, I might be able to leave them out because you don't want these things to get leggy. And they did seem to kind of be wanting to do that. Here's where I planted the carrots. And
Anything coming up yet?
yeah, we do. There'll be carrots.
Yeah.
So they are coming up.
Yay!
And I've been kind of keeping them wet and damp. And she says it's been raining all day.
I didn't say today. It's raining all day.
That's what you said earlier. You
Well,
said it's
yeah.
been raining all day, and that was your defense. I don't see this being that wet. But
3 days ago it did.
2 days ago when I was going to make the video, it was raining all day. I wasn't going to do that today.
anyway, over here is more the pineapples. So as y'all can see, I've kind of went crazy on pineapples. And when I ordered I had to get enough to get free shipping. So when I ordered the Mysore, they also had a Florida pineapple, and I had to choose between the pineapple and the Mysore. So I went with the Mysore just solely because I had no pineapples. So
Can't pass up them deals.
yeah, you gotta get free shipping. You don't want to pay another $5 for $10 free shipping and you get the pack for 15. This is one of the mandarins. This is never the leaf. I never looked good on it, but it's still growing. It is what it is. I've had fertilizer on it. I don't know if it's low in magnesium or what. I might add some magnesium because it's easy. You know how you add magnesium? Epsom salt?
No,
Epsom salt.
Epsom salt.
Epsom
Yeah.
salt.
Did I get the deer in the headlights
And
yet?
yet another tree has broke.
Oh no.
So we're not doing good on that this year. And this ain't doing good.
Oh.
But this one over here, it broke too. But this over here had not broke yet, but it looks like it might. We might want to try to support that.
Yeah. Oh,
You stand up there and hold it.
I went
and then,
past Kath when we went up there though.
hopefully you're not getting drunk. Spin it around. But this is the longan tree, and they've been eating the longans on it.
those are good.
And my wife and one of my sons likes them. So, and I'm trying to put enough to start growing. It's kind of funny. This one's not growing well. But then the other one, the actual lychee tree, is probably growing too much. It's a fight because you want them to grow some, but you don't want to get a big flush of grow because then they won't fit in the garage anymore. So, in the containers, that's what you kind of fight. So I probably won't be fertilizing this anymore this year. I would continue to fertilize that one though, 'cause it needs to grow a little bit more.
You okay?
Yeah.
Cameraman got busy.
Okay, this here is the. Yeah, it's got something on it. Jiu-Jitsu, and that's just the sun scalding it there. They're not gonna be ready till December, but you got the 4 or 5 fruits on that. I know it's 4,
Counted 5.
5. Count 5.
Yeah.
Okay. And over here, got the blackberry experiment in a 5-gallon bucket. So far, I think we need a bigger bucket. I also need to put a trellis on it. These are the sweet leaf or katuk. I've got 2 of those. This would survive the winter, and I'll start fertilizing it later. I'd already bought this one. Still sweet. And this here is the other Primark Freedom that's growing. This over here is something I haven't done anything with, but I did have some greens in it, and now this here, I caught it bok choy the other time. Actually, it's a mustard. I'll get the name of it.
It's a mustard?
Tasoi, Tasoi. I think. And I think these are the leaves to it, or the small ones. It put out a lot of seeds. I didn't ever get around to collecting them, but now they're starting to come up. So, and then over here, you got the oregano. I mean the thyme that was also going to be collected. Hasn't been done yet. And then we do have the different lettuces here that's come up from seed. This here's a Okinawa spinach, and it's still growing. It likes this kind of weather. And seeing this here, it's really starting to put out some. Oh, that almost looks like some type of bloom or something. Maybe it is. I don't know. And you got the oregano that totally took over this pot, so I just left it. So that's my oregano. Basil, I forget what basil is, and these have kind of cross-pollinated. Same thing with basil. I just let them go. They do cross really bad, so that's not necessarily good. The other loquat, and so far it's not blooming yet. So in here we have 2 more loquats. I probably need to spray these. And then 2 more pineapples.
See, they have a baby pineapple.
Yeah, it's really small one that I picked, put it in that little deal. So we got the blueberry. It needs to be in a bigger pot, but it's growing good and looking nice, and no discoloration from the leaves, so the pH is okay in the pot. This here is one of the figs. It's a Chicago hardy fig. This is going to be my line. Citrus trees. So I'm going to start off with, this is the other lychee tree. It's doing good, looking good. So it's got the bigger pot. It's starting to grow and look nice. This is one of the orange trees. One of these days I'm going to make a video. This is lychee orange. I'm going to have all this labeled up. It's going to look pretty, but it's not today. And like I say, you're seeing the growth coming in. The flusher growth coming out on these. You know, this is growing good. Remember, these little be small. They were small whenever I bought them to the middle of the spring. And this here is Sierra 90. This is the one I think that's the sumo. Same variety as a sumo. It's not the same tree, but it's the same variety. This is another one of those that's got the spikes on it, the spines. Another pineapple. That's why I didn't buy the pineapple. And this one's starting to grow really good. It's starting to throw a lot of, but I think it's, okay, it's a navel. It's the N33. It's a really good tasting orange tree. And then this one is the one I never can say, so it's another tree. And 2 more pineapples. And I also have these growing here that's been in this pot, not been taken care of, and they're 2 brassicas. And I think one of them is a cauliflower, one of them is a broccoli, I think. You know, if they make, I'll know. But this tree here is the Trilite apricot, aprium. It's supposed to have 3 different plums. Supposed to have plum in it, supposed to have apricots in it. It hasn't made with the flip. It made 2 this year, and both of them rotted. So it's kind of on the short list. One thing I'm going to try to get better at is something's not producing. It doesn't produce for 3 or 4 years. You got to cut them down, start over. It's just taking up a pot, taking up time, and that's hard to do. So whenever you start doing some of this stuff, that's one thing you just kind of got to figure out. Some things are not going to work. I know one person said they had orchards, they were trying to do fruit trees. They said, how many of the fruit trees actually made the cut? And he says, well, I cut down about half of them. You know, I try them out, they don't work. And that's really a smart thing if you know, because everybody's limited space to a point. And that's kind of what I'm trying in my orchard. I'm trying to get rid of any trees that don't work. I cut down a really big peach tree because it didn't work. It was rotting every year, and this year it really rotted bad. They're not earning the keep. So you have to kind of come to a point that it's causing you more damage. You're not getting any fruit off of it. There's no use, spending time with it. And saying that, we're going to Tropic Beauty or Tropic Snow. I never can figure out which one of these are. I get them mixed up, but when they start making, I know because one's a white plum and one's a yellow plum. I mean, a peach. But this tree looks like crap, but it produces. So I'm going to leave this one going. Now it's got a lot of, this here is really bad. It's going to end up breaking, I know that. I know it's always had, but, a couple of years left in it, but it's still growing, still making, still producing. This poor old thing is a devil of a time. Yeah, slugs, I think, and I did bring it back out, put it out here, and slugs quit eating on it, and I moved it back over there, and they started eating on it again, so I brought it out here. So it's moved around a lot. This is the Flat Wonder peach.
Those are good.
And one thing I did do, I did finally take all the mummified fruit off this thing because it's going to cause problems next year. I'm going to have problems next year, and I'm going to do a video on how to spray your peach trees because I'm going to have to do it next year. All my stone fruit's going to have to be sprayed on a regular basis. I've got the brown rot. Once you got there, you've got to maintain it. I'm about to come up with the idea that I think it's cheaper for me to drive to Fairfield, which is about 3 hours, 4 hours away, buy the peaches and bring them back because I hate spraying. And you say, well, wait till you see the rot. With fungus, the fungi, you have to spray it before you see it because once it gets on the peach, you will not notice it. And when it gets about right time to ripen, about a week before they turn to ripen, they're going to start rotting on you. See a little spot on you, and that little fungus is going to keep going all the way around it. And so.
Disappointing this year.
Yeah, I lost 99% of the fruit.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to have it next year even worse potentially. So I've got to spray early, because once it's on there, it's on there. And even if you pick them early and bring it into the house, they're going to rot in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on there. So, and this is the other. This is my wider leaf because it's second year and it's probably got better. I said this it's a bad container to have it in, but it's actually doing pretty good. And I still haven't got any lemon tea yet.
Yeah.
Over here is the blueberries. This is a pink lemonade blueberry. It's
You have eaten the blueberries.
Yeah, it's a shy producer. It needs a little more chill hours, I think, than I get, and it just tends not to produce as much.
It did better this year than
It
it did
did,
last
but
year.
we had a really cold winter.
That's true too.
So if you got cold winters, it seems to do better. And then here's the other blueberries. Like I said, they're looking okay. The leaves are looking good. Something's eating on them.
You trim some of these.
But anyway. And then we've got, I'm going to move some of the fig trees into the garden area. I've already moved some of the fruit trees I had there that I didn't like. And I'll take some of these and move them up there. And I still hope to be able to plant like 3 or 4 down this row and try to get rid of as many of these. What's happened for me is they've gotten these pots, they've gotten so big, they kind of stunned it out. And I know my son gets tired of me. If I'm gone, he has to water them, and he doesn't like that. He doesn't like figs. And it's nothing. It's a real pain trying to grow fruit that you don't like, especially when you don't like to grow fruit. Here's a low quality too. I tried to water it, get it back. It's a gold nugget, so it's not that big. But, I don't know how much it's going to come back. It's not moving yet. Well, wait a minute.
Looks like there's something on this too.
Yeah, there's a little big one out there.
It's tiny bug.
So, yeah, they're just starting to push out somebody. It does look bad. But I'm not really impressed with the nugget. Again, you're going to see the figs the way I said last time that they're starting to, I did put the 2 buckets there and watered. I think we got 10 gallons or 20 gallons worth. I think I got it once or twice, and then we got rain, so it didn't matter. And then the one that actually made some is the black Malta. And my son got the child. You want to try one?
I've never had a fig, actually.
Now that's kind of bad when you pick one. Well, no, that's okay. If you pick them, it has a lot of milk that usually not quite ready, but it's soft. We'll cut it in half with a really clean knife.
Yeah. Those germs are so important with me.
Wiping off my shell.
I feel so safe now.
See, it looks got really pretty inside. It's supposed to be on the better figs.
Do you
Some
eat the
people,
skin and all?
Brian does. Some people do, some people don't.
You haven't eaten it yet.
That's much yet, both of them.
Oh.
Try to eat just the middle part if you don't like the seed. I can use this one.
Okay, that's a big difference. The red part's good. I didn't care for the white part,
Yeah, the white part's not the big one.
but the red part's good. What was that?
It's a black malt or malted black
That's tasty.
fig. So
Okay. They turn this color when they're ready?
yeah, and it'll, like that one, it had the crook neck on it. This is here sticking straight up, so it's not ready yet.
Okay.
But whenever they take that, it's gonna stick straight. Whenever it folds over, weeps over, then they're usually ready.
Okay.
That's how you tell.
Brian usually eats them all.
Yeah, he really
He
likes it.
doesn't ever offer to share with me when he brings them in.
He didn't even share for his grandmother.
This is true.
A year ago, she came down, or 2 years ago, I guess, and he come out and pick them, and he never would share it. Even the neighbor next door, one time it was raining, and I said, well, you want to go share with the neighbor? And he said, well, no, he can get some later. It's raining now. It'd be kind of rude. And so he didn't want to be rude. Normally we share with the neighbor. We share back and forth a lot. But, he didn't get any of that. And this one's not blooming yet either.
My glasses can't quite see.
And let's go look at the other loquat, just because I'm curious about it. See if it's blooming.
So I'll probably stop the recording here.
Huh?
Probably start a cut here.
Nope. It's just that one.
Watch it, there's a red wasp hanging around in it.
I think they have some beginning here.
Yeah, that looks like it's starting. But see, you see that growth, and then you see this here growth, and that looks just a little bit different. And look like the side, well, no. I don't know why it matters. Yeah, one thing I'll tell you, if you've been around, red wasps get very territorial this time of year. They usually don't bother you, but in the fall of the year, they start getting mean.
Yeah.
But anyway, this hadn't started making yet. So now we're going to take a walk out to the main garden. I'll show you kind of what I'm doing out there. Okay, now we're out in the in-ground garden, and what I'm going to end up doing is making 3 different plots for this. So I haven't cut up as much. Here's the voluntary watermelons, and you can see from the last video, they're really starting to grow and do well. They really like this weather we've been having. Again, it's a long shot if I'm going to make any or not, but it's not costing anything, so I'm going to let them grow and see what they do. Over here is this is a cross, I forget the name of it, but it's a cross between the muscadine and the European grape. And, you know, I had it trellised, and the trellis fell down, and we trellised it back up. And it has made this year, but it's kind of tricky on when you pick them. I did pick them once, and they're fairly sour. One of them was kind of sweet, but I didn't get, you know, a whole lot of it. But this here is going to be one plot that we'll have. And then over here, I cleared some of this out. And this is the second plot, and this is going to be where my beans are growing. They've come up already. And so we're going to see how that goes. And we're going to come up around this way so you won't step on the bean. And I just left this up because you might be able to see better sitting down there. It's got a pretty good stand, looks like. Got 3 different varieties. We got the green blaze. You know, got the wax beans, and then I also got momentum. And what I'm going to do is I had a couple of jujube trees here, so I cut those down, and I'm going to till this up so I have this whole section as one square, a rectangle, and grow stuff in this area here. And I may even take out, those two trees there, so just have a kind of walkway. I don't like these jubies. I'm kind of getting tired of messing with them. And it gets back to, if we don't like the fruit, why am I growing them? Especially when they got stickers. It gets you to bend over. And this here's the yellow loquat, and looks like it's gonna start doing something. It's really early for them to be putting out, over here. It's putting out some blooms too, and this is different. I think it's Sherwood, the name on this one. And we had a tree in here, that peach tree that had died. Well, the graft had died, and I had to cut all the suckers out, so that's what this was. So this opened this area here up. I'm going to put 2 figs here, 1 fig there, 1 fig down there, let them grow up. And here's the other gold nugget. And this gold nugget is putting out a lot of blooms. But this tree is getting big quick. And I really like loquats. I like the flavor of them. So that's why I've got so many seedlings. This pear tree is kind of taking this over. And these pear trees are going to kind of take stuff over. So I think this area here is just going to end up going back to grass, which would be fine. And then up over here would be the third main plot that we're going to have. And I guess the last thing I'm going to show, if y'all seen in the past how much my, all the trees I had in the orchard, take out a bunch. And if they weren't producing, I've got, this here's a peach tree that almost died, and I've cut it back, cut all the saplings off it. It makes some pretty good peaches. Then I have to go all the way down. There was a rootstock on tangerine that didn't make it. There's another peach tree that kept falling over. It didn't make it. I've got a persimmon tree there. On the side of it, I got one of the oriental pears. And I got some here. Peach tree here, ain't okay. Still got some tall grass. And then those peach trees there, I've got a couple of nectarine trees that were growing good, but they make me nervous because they get rot so bad. And it's kind of like, am I ever going to really make a decent crop off of them? I haven't given up on them yet because I like nectarines, and it's Arctic star, and they're very aggressive. If I lived west of I-35, I think I should keep trying it because I think you might be able to make it there. I don't think you can make it here, and maybe even with spraying. Texas is a big state, and almost I-35 is kind of the splitting point. I think if you're west of I-35, you might be able to grow peaches without having to spray. You're still going to lose a lot, but I think here in East Texas, once they found, or Southeast Texas, once they found you, once that fungus finds you, you're kind of doomed unless you do spray. And maybe if you do, I know you can grow peaches in East Texas because people have got orchards here, but they do a lot of spraying too. And there was another one of my citrus that didn't make it, so I cut it down. And my chainsaw was kind of gave out, so I wasn't able to cut it all the way out. And this is my M33 orange. I thought it was going to make a lot. I think it's lost one. I still got some for this one out there. And it's really good tasting. Right here.
I see.
But anyway, I've kind of cleared stuff up. And we'll kind of take a walk through here, I guess. And make a very long video. But here's some of this out. I may take out this plum tree here, because this is the same one here. This is the one that kind of blew over, so I had to cut this back so I could walk through here, because here was the main part. And I think that's the Guthrie, and that's the Odom, because you got all the sprouts coming out of it. And this is a Chickasaw. That's a regular native Chickasaw that's growing here. And that's the Odom, another Odom tree. And that was the big plum tree, peach tree that I cut out just because it got rot every year. and I got tired of it. And this gives these two trees more room. And this is the one that's the nectarine tree. I think it's Arctic Star's the name of it. It needs a lot of pruning on it on the inside. I've let it go for the last 2 or 3 years, and that will help some. All these upper sprouts are going to come out, but I don't want to do it this time of year because it's not a good time of year to do it. You want to do it in the late winter because bacteria, canker can get into them this time of year if you start doing much trimming. And so I'm holding back on it. And this here's the Jiu-Jitsu tree, and it's got loads of fruit on it, so I'm really impressed with it. The other plum tree, this is one that's blown over, so I'm trying to cut it up and cut it back and maybe salvage it. It probably ought to be taken out too. Like I say, this thing's really opened up now. All that pile over there is just the different trees I've taken out, and they're all fruit trees. And I had another pile that I burnt, that was just that big. So, and this here is trumpet vine, and I hate these things because this is just native trumpet vines. I'm not planting any of it. I do not recommend anybody plant it because look at it, just starting to take over, and they're a pain in the rear. And we're about through. This is the blueberries, the blackberries that I'm growing. I was had to clean out this bed here and keep this bed here clean. I'm probably going to be planting onions in this bed, but it did have some nematodes in it from the cantaloupes I grew. Cantaloupe had nematodes on it. But ironically, the tomato didn't. I had tomatoes there, so I thought, well, if the cantaloupes, they were already done, so I pulled them out. They had bad nematodes. So I pulled up the tomatoes thinking they'd have nematodes because they were volunteer tomato. They didn't have any. So, kind of surprised on that. And this is kind of pathetic peppers that just, hopefully they're going to come on and grow. But they've been through it, and I haven't been able to water them very much. This area here was the old blackberries, and I'm trying to kill those out. And hopefully I will plant. This will be in figs rather than the other. So anyways, the end of the video. If you stay this long, thanks for watching, and the next video won't be this long. Anyway, thank you.